This is the award for World's Greatest Mom. It's a statue of a man, for some reason, but it's still an impressive title. Which is why the Oz Engraving Company in Los Angeles cranks out nearly 10,000 of these trophies every year. That means at least 10,000 kids know the world's greatest mom. I thought my kids knew too. I mean, it's always been obvious to me. But when I invited them into my office, cameras rolling, to record their choice, they were stumped.
We have absolutely no clue who that is.
No clue whatsoever.
No clue
It's
whatsoever.
the world's greatest mom. Could be in Africa.
Finding her would be a needle in a haystack, they said, but suggested I start by reaching out to our Kindness 101 students and on-the-road educators to see if we could find any kids who think they know the world's greatest mom.
We're looking for the world's best mom.
Yeah, that's ours.
What makes your mom the world's best mom?
Our needs are met before her needs are met.
We talked to more than a dozen kids,
She plays games.
and each one gave us a very convincing reason
She always helps me.
why their mom is the best.
She tucks me in at night and she's very loving.
She has a really big heart.
She deserves the mood, but she would never ask you for it.
That's sweet.
My crew was impressed, but still hard-pressed to pick a winner.
Did you hear the kids say anything that your mom didn't have?
I actually didn't, no.
So how do we reconcile this?
Each kid could have a perfect mom for them.
Ooh, I like what you're thinking. That's true. Maybe that's why they make so many of those trophies. Everybody has the world's best mom for them.
It was a light bulb moment that led to a hallmark moment.
In my almost 10 years, I feel like I have adapted to think that this mom is the best mom.
I can see the card now. Dear Mom, I have adapted to think you're the world's greatest. She's gonna love it because she loves everything about them. And that's what makes her one of the many world's greatest.
Why is this a man?
Steve Hartman, on the road, at home.
So here's Mom when she was a nurse.
Carol Kemper, the oldest of 5 siblings, had no idea she was nominated by her little sister, Beth Husser, who described Carol as the mother of all mothers.
Beth, what qualities in Carol do you admire?
She's the most selfless person you would ever meet.
You know, heart pumping.
That selflessness turned her passion for fitness into a successful personal training career, focused on senior citizens and now Parkinson's disease.
All your weight on one side.
It's a cause close to her heart. Carol's brother-in-law was diagnosed with the disease in 2019.
It sounds like love and dedication runs deep in your family.
We watched our parents be devout Catholics and dedicated to their families. It's just a natural response that we care for each other and are very close and loving with each other.
So close, in fact, that Carol is also the primary caretaker for her mom.
The amount of work it is, physically and mentally. My sister does that as well as everything else going on in her life.
Our mother's been through so much and carried through all of that with such grit and toughness. It just handles everything with such grace. And I think that's carried down to us.
The whole family demonstrating what we know Mom stands for: dedicated and caring. People like that deserve to be celebrated.
Parents can sometimes go above and beyond to show how proud they are of their children. Well, one New Jersey mom did just that and may have topped them all. Here's CBS's Meg Oliver.
Dr. Christine.
When Christine Smalls earned her doctorate, her proud mom let it all out.
Yes! Woo! Oh, I was on cloud 9.
Cloud 9.
Yes.
Kendra Busby was so ecstatic, she wanted a big celebration.
How did you think your mom would celebrate?
I thought like a party, dinner.
Dinner.
Yeah, something special like that.
The single mom of 2 raised her family in Camden, New Jersey, often ranked as one of the most dangerous cities in the country. For that reason, Kendra wanted to honor the occasion with a bold move.
Did you ever think this would be your present?
No, no, but it's amazing.
A A giant billboard towering over a busy highway featured Christine's smile and an inspiring message.
What do you want people to know when they drive by here?
I want them to know that good things come out of Camden.
Good things come out of Camden. And why is that so important?
It's so important because it's a lot of negative things that people portray about Camden, and I want people to know that there are actually good things that are in the community as well.
Good people like Dr. Smalls and her mom. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Camden, New Jersey.
Like a lot of good sons and daughters, CBS's Chip Reed has spent a lot of time Zooming with his mom. Well, finally, mother and son have been reunited.
It had been a long time.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, hi, Chip.
How are you?
Hi, my boy.
Over a year since I last saw my 90-year-old mother in person.
Does it seem like a whole year to you?
No.
No.
It seems longer. Much longer.
We talked by phone and Zoom.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, goodness. Oh.
How are you?
I'm good. Oh, so glad to see you.
But there's no substitute for being face-to-face, even if her nursing home still requires 6 feet of distance, though we've both been vaccinated. Across the nation, families painfully separated for so long have been reuniting after last week's new government guidelines for nursing homes that encourage in-person visits. Frank DeMarinis is executive director of Forwood Manor, my mother's nursing home in Wilmington, Delaware.
What does it mean to you to have us, the visitors, back again?
It brings spirit back into the community. I'd like to think we're a community again, not just a facility.
Soon, he says, they hope to allow hugging, and after that, maybe even travel.
I'm hoping that we can do our annual trip to the beach this summer.
Oh, hallelujah. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yes, it would. Chip Reed, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware, and soon, hopefully, from the Jersey Shore.
Finally tonight, there's a family outside St. Louis that has a lot to be thankful for this holiday season. CBS's David Begnaud has a story of a special delivery and the little girl who lived up to her name.
You've heard of the Christmas miracle? Meet Thanksgiving's miracle. 10 years old and already her mama's hero.
Fire and ambulance address of the emergency.
Hi, I think my mom is in labor.
Polite, not panicked. Precisely what was needed.
She was in a lot of pain and I felt bad, so I wanted to help. Mama, they said lay on your back in the center of the bed or on the floor. She said she can't lay down. Do you need help? It's okay, Mama, it's okay.
She did amazing. She never questioned anything. She did exactly as she was asked, and we're left with a beautiful baby girl.
Jayla is her name. She came 3 weeks early, and before the paramedics even arrived at the family home outside St. Louis, Missouri.
She's really cute. She doesn't cry a lot, and I get to hold her.
So we have a certificate from the 911 center.
Miracle more.
Wonderful job. So we're so proud of you.
What more could you ask for? David Begnaud, CBS News.
There is nothing more powerful in this world than a mother's love for her child, except maybe the love of two moms. Here's CBS's Steve Hartman with this week's On the Road.
Just outside Salt Lake City, 46-year-old Shauna Austin is about to let you in on a secret.
I've never talked about it, ever.
When Shauna was 20 and single, she got pregnant. Says she wasn't ready to be a mom, so she made the decision to place her baby for adoption. It wasn't easy.
Do you remember holding him the first time?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
He was perfect. And I knew I would have him for a short time. So I made every minute count with him.
She called the boy Riley and says she held him for 72 hours straight until the time came to let go.
Her Riley was now somebody else's Stephen.
And at this point, like with most closed adoptions, a firewall went up between Shauna and Stephen's new parents. No communication whatsoever. And this went on for about a week.
It was like, okay, this is the way it should be. She is part of our family.
Adoptive parents Jennifer and Chris Schobinger say they had no interest in excluding the birth mother.
You know, you can't have too many people loving you, right? Why couldn't he be both of ours?
So, year after year, they sent Shauna piles of pictures and these bound books detailing Stephen's every major and minor milestone, like this complete list of his vocabulary. All so that when Shauna was ready and Stephen was ready, they could pick up right where they left off. The two reunited when Stephen was 7. Shauna taught him how to fish, and they have been reeling in the memories ever since.
I was blessed beyond words.
I kind of got best of both worlds for sure.
Stephen is now 26, married with a brand new boy of his own, much to the delight of Grandma Shauna.
That was really special. It just brought that full circle around.
Especially when she heard the baby's name, Riley.
Oh.
Felt like that name was just supposed to be in the family.
I think the lesson we've learned is that sometimes we create barriers where barriers don't need to be. And when we pull down those barriers, we really find love on the other side.
Words of wisdom to help us all live the life of Riley.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Steve Hartman, On the Road, in Lehi, Utah.
For a parent, nothing could be more painful than losing a child. But a mom from Georgia is finding comfort in carrying out her daughter's wish to help others. Here's CBS's Janet Shamlian.
When Vicky Bunky is getting ready for an open water swim, it doesn't come naturally.
I'm a little bit claustrophobic, maybe a lot claustrophobic, so I don't like to put my face in the water.
The Georgia mom, until recently, had never swam a full lap, making this all the more remarkable. Her daughter Grace was the family athlete. But a cruel diagnosis at age 11 of osteosarcoma, a form of bone cancer, meant the amputation of her leg. Grace could still swim and joined the cancer fundraising group Swim Across America until her condition worsened.
Did you ever imagine it would be terminal?
Oh, absolutely not. We knew it was treatable, and we just thought she would be one that would make it.
When it was clear to the family she had little time left, Grace asked her mom to swim in her place.
It was touching, but at the same time, it was a bit terrifying.
She took lessons and just finished her 8th open water swim on the way to 14, Grace's age when she died. Raising thousands for research that might save others. Here you go. Not doing it alone.
When I'm in the water, I do have a sense of peace. I think of Grace and I feel her presence.
A life cut short as a legacy lives on. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Marietta, Georgia.
Amazing Grace and a beautiful gift by her mom.
Denise Woodard knows rejection in business.
You were rejected by not one, not two, but how many investors?
At least 86.
86, that must have hurt.
You know, I took it pretty personal.
But her mission was personal too. Years ago, her baby Vivian ate a snack and ended up in the ER.
That's how we learned that she's actually allergic to corn.
And what went through your mind at that point?
I realized that life-threatening food allergies are just that, they're life-threatening, and that I needed to come up with a solution to make her life a little easier.
And the what?
Yeah.
Vivian is one of an estimated 5.6 million children in the U.S. with a food allergy. In 2016, Woodard launched Partake Foods, a line of allergy-friendly cookies so kids wouldn't feel left out. But the company struggled until Woodard, the daughter of Black and Korean parents, connected with Black investors, including singer Rihanna and Jay-Z's venture capital fund. Today, 8,000 retailers nationwide carry her products.
What do you hope Vivian learns from watching you?
The fact that she thinks that's normal and that it's okay and can be celebrated is what I hope for her. Too hot?
Tackling challenges baked into the industry and finding new ingredients for success. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, New York.
A radio show in Western Massachusetts has become appointment listening, not just for its community outreach, but in part because of the co-hosts providing it. Here's CBS's Janet Shamlian.
Tenía mucha hambre.
Daisy Escobar is like most high schoolers by day.
From 11 to 3 in the afternoon.
But one night a week, she's the voice of connection to a growing immigrant community in the Massachusetts Berkshires.
And for those of you who are new to the area,
the 17-year-old hosts a bilingual radio show. Her partner at the mic is someone she knows well, her mom, Marta.
Our mission is to keep our immigrant community informed.
It's part public service, where to find free English classes. The rest, pure dance party. Marta used to host solo until a then 8-year-old Daisy asked to join. She's been a co-host ever since.
What's it like to spend time and have this time with your mom? So this is our moment where we get to connect. We love to dance, and
we dance together. We sing, we laugh.
Mundo Latino on station WTBR is a favorite in the region. From law offices to the local garage.
You work together every week. Who's the boss?
I think we are a good team.
A mother and daughter on the same frequency, keeping their community informed. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
Hi, Mickey. How are you?
When twins Mitchell and Maxim were born at 3 and 4 pounds, the world was in the throes of a new pandemic.
These kids really came into this world against all odds, I feel.
It was April 2020. Jen Laubach went into labor early, sick with COVID. Dad Andre couldn't be there. He had COVID too. They couldn't see the boys in person for 3 weeks, relying on FaceTime at Beaumont Hospital in Troy, Michigan.
I'll never get that time back. And that's hard for me as a mom because those first few weeks and days are so important with your child. Hi.
These are the twins 2 years later. And now they have company. Baby sister Liv was just born. No COVID, no complications.
I've bonded with her so much already, and I didn't get that with the boys.
Has this experience helped heal those wounds?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Andre was able to be there. I wasn't isolated and alone. When she was born, they placed her right on my chest.
And do you have a little sister now?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Baby.
Jen's first Mother's Day was in the NICU. This next one in a home full of laughter.
Despite how hard it was for us, and we're healthy and we're strong now, and you know, we have a happy ending.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News.
Tonight we're wrapping up our special Mother's Day series with a mom and son relationship that is motion picture perfect. We first met them in 2017, and Steve Hartman joins them tonight on the road to movie stardom.
At her sold-out New York premiere, Rebecca Danagelis was pulled in all directions. Everyone wanting a picture with this most unlikely star of the silver screen.
It was really bizarre because I'm like, this is just my mom. We just showed up out of an Uber.
Rebecca's son, Sean Pierre.
She went from hotel housekeeper to household name over the last 4 or 5 years.
As we first reported back in 2017, the journey began right after she left this voicemail for her son.
I just got fired. Just want you to know that. Call me back.
Let go at 75.
End of message.
I was in shock. I never expected it to happen to me.
My biggest worry was, like, if she loses her job, what else does she have?
Rebecca tried finding other work, went to career centers, scoured job listings, but nothing.
There ain't no reason anybody's going to hire somebody that's 75 years of age.
Which is why Sean Pierre, who works as a freelance journalist, took a different tack.
You never know. She worked her hands to the bone. She deserved to feel joy. And that's what I wanted to give her.
La, la, la.
So, on that note, mother and son hit the road. He took her bucket list, and together they started ticking off items.
Oh my God.
Milk a cow in Vermont. Done.
I love it.
Take a hip hop lesson. Check. Learn to use Instagram.
Just press the heart.
Work in progress. Jean-Pierre has chronicled the whole adventure in a new documentary called Duty Free. The film, now showing across the country, is his gift to her. And although Rebecca couldn't be more grateful, she says it was hardly necessary. She says no one needs to roll out a red carpet for their mom on Mother's Day. They just need to follow the sidewalk to her door.
The most important thing you can give your moms is time. You want to spend time with them.
Oscar-worthy advice. Steve Hartman, CBS News. On the road.
Finally tonight, while remote work has been a blessing for millions, it comes with its own unique challenges. Nobody understands that more than working moms, who often find themselves doing double duty, both their jobs and childcare. In our continuing series, Moms in Focus, CBS's Jan Crawford finds necessity is truly the mother of invention.
For keeping your concentration, it's hard to beat the library.
Hello.
Especially when you have to keep your eye on your little one.
At home, it's impossible. Here, I can just get things done.
Here at the Fairfield Area Public Library near Richmond, Virginia, there's a special space for children and their parents, like kindergarten teacher Takio Woodson.
With the Crib Center, it's much, much easier. And they're close enough where I can just reach over, but I can still do what I need to do on the computer.
It's called the Work and Play Station, designed and created by two working moms.
I would see moms and parents and caregivers struggling, and I thought there's got to be a better way to do this.
When the library opened 4 years ago, photos quickly went viral.
All of the public libraries that I'm working on right now, every librarian is asking to have one.
This started with you thinking there has to be a better way.
It touches me, it really does. It visibly shows people that we cared.
And as working moms, they knew there was a better way. Jan Crawford, CBS News, Henrico County, Virginia.
I look at that picture and I cry. I literally, because I cannot believe it.
Aisha Champ's lifelong dream of being a lawyer is about to come true. She will graduate from a Texas law school next month. The 33-year-old single mother has 5 reasons to celebrate.
My children have been my motivation. They have been my reason to keep going.
These graduation photos, which proudly proclaim, "I did it," have gone viral on social media. But behind those smiles are a single mom's story of pain and determination.
We were taken away from our parents at a very young age. We were placed in foster care.
Chan was homeless for a while, dropped out of high school, and had her first child at 19. She lost her job and her children's father to cancer. She considered suicide. With God, she says, came a turning point in the form of her pastor, who encouraged her to get a GED.
I thought she was crazy. I'm like, I'm 25, I have too many kids. Come on now.
She'll tell you her kids are what helped her succeed. They quizzed her with flashcards as she cooked for them, even acted as mock jurors as she told them what she had learned in class. David is her oldest child.
I would hear her crying, so I would take my brothers and sisters, I'd give them a snack, I'll fix them some food so she wouldn't have to get up from doing her schoolwork.
I see a young woman who knows that the odds were stacked against her. However, because of my faith in God, because of my support system, I didn't just overcome them, I destroyed them.
With the help of her kids, she's won every trial before she's ever set foot in a courtroom. David Begnaud, CBS News, Houston.
This week, CBS's Steve Hartman goes on the road with the story of a nurse and the life-saving treatment of compassion.
At Community Hospital North in Indianapolis, newborn intensive care nurse Katrina Mullen has a reputation for going above and beyond. But as you'll soon see, the lengths she went to for these triplets and their 14-year-old mother is beyond compare.
Being that age and having all 3 babies premature and sick was going to be a hard road for her.
Katrina was once a teenage mother herself, and she knew that this young mom, Shariah Small, didn't have a stable home life. So, even after the babies were discharged, Katrina continued to visit them and shower them with gifts.
Pacifiers or bottles, 3 matching outfits for them.
What is driving you to do all this?
Just love. I mean, I loved her, I loved them, and I just wanted to see her be a successful parent.
She was just there. She was there emotionally, she was there physically, she was there mentally.
Which was all new for Shariah.
Yeah, she was really the only person there.
But Shariah still didn't have a proper home for the kids. So eventually, the Department of Child Services intervened. They began looking for a foster family, or more like multiple foster families, because finding one place for a teenage mother and her triplets would be nearly impossible. And that's when Shariah got a text message that simply said, "I can't wait for you to come home." Never mind that Katrina already had 5 kids of her own.
What color is that?
She took on these other 4 without giving it a second thought.
Pop. It's been exhausting. It's been crazy and busy. But I've never once sat and said, I wish I hadn't done this.
But that seems illogical. You just listed a bunch of reasons why this is a terrible idea, and then you say I would absolutely do it again.
I would absolutely do it again.
In fact, just a few months ago, Katrina adopted Shariah, who just finished high school and now plans to go to college. All thanks to the nurse, who went above and beyond some more. Steve Hartman, on the road in Indianapolis.
For military families, sacrifices are a part of service, and when a family has a child who needs extra medical attention, that complex life can become even more complicated. Tonight, we continue our series, The Modern Mom, with a mom fighting for her daughter and helping others along the way.
She is probably the center of our entire family, and I think that she's the person who gave us a purpose in life.
There you go, you can have that one.
Austin Carrick's purpose is to make sure her daughter, Melanie, lives a full and normal life.
Yeah, that's one.
Austin's husband, Joshua, is in the Army, forcing the family of 5 to move 7 times. Carrick says that's impacted access to care for 9-year-old Melanie. She's deaf and has Down syndrome.
I know that my husband has said that he would give his life for our country, but we never thought they'd ask for our daughters.
An undiagnosed blood vessel disorder led Melanie to suffer a devastating stroke 2 years ago.
Did you feel like doctors were doing enough for your child?
They really dismissed us and acted like nothing was wrong. My daughter almost died. And that's hard, right? Like, I didn't trust myself, and because of it, I almost lost her.
Do you think being part of a military family altered Melanie's course of care?
Absolutely.
To help her daughter and others like her, Carrick created a national nonprofit to make it easier for military families to navigate the complicated system.
We know what this road is that you're working through, and we're meeting with legislators to change the laws. Melanie's turn.
She hopes this program will be Melanie's legacy. Until then, she celebrates every day they have together.
What will you be thinking about on Mother's Day?
Last year, she was discharged right before Mother's Day from the hospital. We made it a year, and I feel like I got her back. So it's a celebration.
Especially blessed.
Yes, it's a celebration that she's thriving and not just surviving, and that our family's still whole.
In a statement, the Army told us its leaders recognize the need to improve the processes in place to help families like the Carricks, and that a new system will be rolled out this summer.
When 10-year-old Michaela Farrell began singing Andra Day's anthem, Rise Up, at her school talent show, her mom, Shay Washington, sat nervously in the audience.
We practiced a little bit before in the bathroom, and I just was hoping that she would, get the words right.
But about a minute in, Michaela's voice faded.
I just forgot because I was nervous to even sing anymore.
And then I was like, uh-oh, it looks like she's about to, have a breakdown. And I was like, I don't want her to feel like she's defeated or that she failed. So that's when I just stepped in and started singing to help her to keep going on so she would finish the song.
Come on, baby, you got it. You got it. There you go. Come on. I think she does everything for me. I want to be more thankful and thank her for things.
It means a lot to me hearing her say that.
Mother and daughter rising up together. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, New York.
The neat round spaghetti you can eat with a spoon just turned 55, and it's still a hot seller in one town. CBS's Steve Hartman is on the road.
I thought I had reported on every subject imaginable until this week when I traveled to Attleboro, Massachusetts.
All right, let's talk SpaghettiOs.
Okay.
It's the first interview I've ever begun like that.
This is Crystal McDonald.
You never know where life will lead you to.
Crystal's unlikely obsession with canned pasta began after the birth of her daughter, Ashlyn. Ashlyn is autistic, and earlier this year, she stopped eating food altogether, with the sole exception of SpaghettiOs and meatballs. Teachers and therapists were working to expand her palate when the pandemic hit, clearing grocery store shelves of a lot more than just toilet paper.
Couldn't find SpaghettiOs anywhere. It was like they were there one day and the next they were gone.
Wait, why was there a run on SpaghettiOs?
I don't know if people thought like if the world ended, you could survive on SpaghettiOs. I just know that I was losing my mind trying to find them.
And that's when the miracle happened. Like prepackaged manna from heaven, SpaghettiOs just started showing up on her doorstep, in the mail, hundreds of cans from people in the community who'd heard about Ashlyn in the local paper and wanted to help.
And if it wasn't for the kindness of people like that, we would not have gotten by. When you have a child with special needs, their future is always in the back of your mind. Who's going to take care of them when I get old? And to see people come out and embrace us gave me so much hope that they will love her and take care of her when I'm not here. Sorry.
SpaghettiOs is hardly a culinary cause celeb. But in this home, at least, every can is now fortified with faith in humanity. Steve Hartman, on the road in Attleboro, Massachusetts.
What's more challenging than med school? Well, maybe being the mother of 9, but how about doing both at the same time? Here's CBS's Jamie Yukas.
Sarah Merrill.
Sarah Merrill has now added the title of doctor to her top 10 list of major accomplishments. She's also mom to 9 children, ranging in age from 20 to 8.
When I got finally to the finish line, it was pretty amazing.
Dr. Merrill just graduated from the Mayo Clinic's medical school in Phoenix. The journey began more than 20 years ago when she entered Dartmouth College as a pre-med major.
When I initially went to college, I fell completely in love with neuroscience. I know you thought I was going to say my husband, but I did.
They were married with their first daughter before graduation.
I had my children in between undergrad and medical school. A lot of women have their children as they're starting their careers. Either way, it's a lot of hard work.
This week, Merrill and her supportive family moved to Indiana, where she starts her residency and continues her quest to become a neurosurgeon.
I hope that it will give, some women out there hope or inspiration to keep pushing toward their goals, even if it doesn't seem easy or entirely possible at the start.
A reminder that the path to success doesn't always look the same. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, Los Angeles.
For climbers, Mount Everest is the ultimate test, but a mother and daughter from Oklahoma have already conquered something much tougher. Here's CBS's Janet Shamlian.
Where are we? Everest Base Camp.
Everest Base Camp! It just might be the ultimate girls' trip. Valerie and Jess Waddell hoping to become the first American mother-daughter team to reach the world's highest peak. We zoomed with them from base camp, 17,600 feet.
How much of this trip is about actually getting to the summit?
The possibility exists that we can get there, and that would be amazing. But like, if we're not enjoying every single moment along the way, then we've missed the point almost.
Already experienced climbers, the trek started weeks ago when they left Oklahoma.
Look how sunburned we are. There we go, a little bit of sun.
It's a brutal undertaking for Valerie, who's 61 and has asthma, but also for Jess. Diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2016, she's been through multiple surgeries and months of chemotherapy. She's now cancer-free.
It feels like part of our healing was coming into the mountains and being able to enjoy each other and have fun and just like live life.
They've already weathered storms on Everest.
60-mile-an-hour plus winds, whiteout conditions, 43 hours.
Ahead, one final push to the summit.
When we say we live every day, we really do, because we have been in a place where we didn't have maybe the next day. So every day. Yeah.
The adventure of a lifetime, but time together.
I'm a lucky mom.
The greatest gift. Janet Shamlian, CBS News.
Sorry.
The greatest gift as we think about our moms this week. Finally tonight, it's hard to imagine the bond between a mother and daughter going any closer, but a recent journey of a lifetime did just that. Here's CBS's Janet Shamlian.
It's day 17! When Greta Utton's travel partner backed out of hiking the Appalachian Trail, her 66-year-old mother, Susan, stepped in.
Did you have any idea everything that was involved?
No, totally clueless. I had no idea it was like climbing up and down mountains the whole way.
It's day 122. For 5 months, through 14 states, almost 2,200 miles.
When she suggested, hey, I'll do it with you, any trepidation on your part?
Oh yes, 100%. She has got to be the most accident-prone person on this planet.
Oh, we made it to the ER. There were mishaps.
Mom fell and hit her head again.
But the team, resilient.
The thought of giving up never entered my head.
The trip had greater purpose, fundraising for Parkinson's disease in honor of Greta's father and Susan's husband, Ron. As meaningful, what others did for them.
We stayed in the homes of 25 different people who we had not met before doing the trail.
Yeah. It's such a great experience. Mm-hmm. I mean, we feel so blessed to have had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And the joy of this reunion at Trail's End. The man in their heart, every step of the way. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Minneapolis. An African-American businesswoman and single mom is leading the way on the racetrack. Melissa Harville LeBron is the first black woman to own a NASCAR racing team, which happens to be the first multicultural team in the sport. Steve Overmeyer of our CBS New York station, WCBS, has her story.
Dover International Speedway in Delaware is known as the Monster Mile. Its treacherous turns attract the best teams in the sport. One team stands out.
I don't look like everybody else, and we have some proving to do, but we're just as good.
E2 Northeast Motorsports is a developmental team in the Camping World Truck Series, breaking barriers and making history.
You're the first woman of color to solely own a NASCAR team.
Yes, all from the inspiration of my babies.
Her babies are Eric and Aniko, aged 23 and 22. One is in the military, the other runs a construction company. And babies usually aren't adrenaline junkies.
They jump out of planes, they bungee jump, they cliff dive, everything that could possibly kill them and worry their poor mother to death, right. They want to do.
What she doesn't like is fun to us and dangerous, so she, mothers.
Melissa has built a reputation on fairness, something she learned during her 19-year career in the Department of Corrections.
It gave me thick skin. And when you're creating change and you go against the norm, you definitely need to have thick skin for it.
So to help them live out their dream, this mother got hooked and self-financed a team.
I love the sport. I'm a fan through and through.
I love the noise, the rush, the competition, the environment, the people. It makes my heart beat faster and faster.
The smell of the petrol is amazing. I'm infatuated with this sport.
Oh my gosh, and that rumble, you feel it in your gut. You're like, ooh, and you're waiting for the next one. Come faster.
That rush from watching her truck racing on this day was put on hold.
You were unable to land sponsorship for this weekend's race, right? Yeah.
We were right there. I wish that, we had maybe another day or two and we would have been able to bring it through, but it's okay.
So you're saying the skill is there?
Absolutely.
That's not the problem?
Not at all.
It's just the opportunity?
Opportunity, sponsorship, just things like that.
There's not a lot of minorities in this sport, and we could definitely influence other people to join as well. I think it starts with the younger demographics because that's the next superstars, and I think it would be awesome to see a lot of diversity.
The paths aren't the ones that have just been blazed in front of you.
That's right.
You can create a new one.
You gotta go create them.
Yeah.
You gotta go create them, and nobody's gonna do it for you.
Finally, tonight's Heart of America, meet Bernice Alfaro of Little Rock, Arkansas. On Sunday, Bernice completed her first marathon in 6 hours and 7 minutes. And while she wanted to finish, her biggest goal was making her mother proud. In 2017, Bernice's mother, Eva, was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And while that news would stop many in their tracks, Bernice decided to keep moving forward by focusing on a healthier lifestyle. It started with local breast cancer walks, but she soon realized she could go even further and faster. And in doing so, she discovered a new passion for running. It was that passion, along with support from her mother, now a breast cancer survivor, that helped her finish the line.
I just love the fact that she's still here. It's very encouraging for her to say, you can do this. You can do this.
Look at that, Bernice Alfaro. She is tonight's Heart of America. Now, the story about the unbreakable bond between a mother and son. Here's CBS's Steve Hartman on the road.
By his own admission, Dustin Vitale was a mama's boy.
Mom, you ready?
He cooked Gloria breakfast every morning.
That's my baby.
And thanked her for the privilege.
Thank you, Mom.
As we first reported back in March.
You're gonna make me cry.
Because Dustin had such devotion, after his mom was diagnosed with terminal bladder cancer, he decided to try to take her on the trip she always dreamed of, to see the pyramids in Egypt. With the whole family, 14 people. Never mind that Dustin works as a middle school teacher in Philadelphia and could never afford the $10,000 to fly everyone. He thought he could raise the cheddar by selling cheesesteaks.
There was no way you were going to make enough money selling cheesesteaks out of your house.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct.
So given that, what was pushing you forward?
Just my mom, just the love for my mom.
And so, with his love and her recipe, Dustin started making sandwiches. Sandwiches so big no container could contain. He peddled them to friends and family.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate your support.
But those people must have told their friends and family too. Because almost immediately, cars started double parking outside his house.
Yep. Get your mom to Egypt. I'm trying, man.
Next, word spread on social media.
Oh my God. That's good.
And before he knew it,
so good.
Folks were lined up down the block. A food truck operator offered his services. And in just 6 weeks, Dustin raised all the money he needed and then some. $18,000.
The pharaoh was coming.
The trip was in May.
Oh my.
The Egyptian government had seen our story and gave Gloria the Cleopatra treatment.
She repeated over and over that it was the best thing that she's ever done in her life.
Thank you.
And she died not long after you got back.
Yeah, came home and did hospice and passed.
Did the whole trip help you at all with the grieving?
Yes, we created so many new memories that will last forever.
And to make sure no one ever forgets her, Dustin wants to open a cheesesteak restaurant. He doesn't know where or when, he just knows the name. Gloria's. Steve Hartman, CBS News, on the road.
What a year it's been for Alafine Taliamuk. First, there was a new baby, and now she will represent the United States in the Olympic marathon. Now, racing for 26.2 miles isn't easy, but it's nothing compared to the battle she had with the International Olympic Committee. Here is CBS's Janet Shamlian.
Olympic marathoner Alafine Tuliamuk thought endurance running was as good as it gets. Until she gave birth this year to daughter Zoe.
It's been the best 6 months of my life.
But competing in Japan without Zoe looked like a reality after the IOC in March said COVID protocols would prevent breastfeeding moms from bringing their babies to the games.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, thinking about it still makes me want to cry.
An unimaginable decision. Leave her newborn behind or give up a lifelong dream.
It was such a terrible choice to have to make.
If I decided not to go, what would I tell Zoe when she got older?
Alafine appealed by letter to the IOC. Amid worldwide criticism of the decision, it was reversed in June.
Women should be empowered to be mothers and pursue their careers.
The 32-year-old says she's found strength in the juggle between new mom and elite world athlete. Hopeful it will someday inspire her daughter.
Baby Zoe.
Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Flagstaff, Arizona.
This is your present? Yeah.
At first blush, this may look like another one of those viral videos. A soldier surprising her family after months apart.
Mommy.
But our story isn't about this reunion. It's about the woman who made it possible. Maddie Mitchell is the unseen hand behind an untold number of joyful surprises here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, babe.
This stay-at-home mother of two, with a third on the way, got started making other people's days after her worst day. A fourth child, Liam, a preemie, died at just 6 weeks.
I felt like my son can't just come in this world just to suffer and then die.
You found his purpose.
Mm-hmm. And it's helped so many kids.
How many good deeds has your group done?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Maddie started a nonprofit called Liam Changed the World. And in the 10 years since, he has.
We pay medical bills for children.
From planning a parade for a kid with cancer to collecting supplies for flood victims. If kindness is needed, Liam's mom is there. Her most recent effort, to help Army Private First Class Harmony Jackson surprise her family.
I love you.
Harmony hadn't seen her kids in person
I said I love you.
in 7 months. Maddie found Harmony on Facebook and offered to orchestrate the reunion. She lured the dad, telling him he'd want a photo shoot for the family.
Oh, sweet.
Then showered them with gifts, and finally, the ultimate present. Of course, for Maddie, the moment was tinged with irony. A hug like this is something she and Liam will never know. But Maddie insists that every good deed she does reunites her, too.
I feel my son because I always say that's him doing that from heaven, that he's still working his purpose from up there.
Look.
Nice work, Liam.
Cheers.
You're raising a great mom.
Thank you so much.
I just want to do good.
Steve Hartman.
Mission accomplished.
On the road.
Thank you.
In Nashville, Tennessee.
Meet 5 daughters who followed in their mother's footsteps to become nurses, all at the same hospital. These 5 mother-daughter duos all care for the littlest patients at Children's National Hospital right here in Washington, D.C. Hillary Linian joined the hospital in 2010 and says having her mom Rose there makes the job that much easier.
Someone in the hospital, you can have someone who really is like in your corner and can give you a colleague perspective, also a mom perspective too. It's been really special.
Watching her grow and watching her commitment, compassion to patients, I think it's very inspiring to me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, who is this wonderful woman?
On this Mother's Day, we end with 2 pilots flying side by side in the cockpit and in life while soaring to an aviation first. CBS's Naomi Ruckham has more.
Terry Edison and her daughter Nicole McAllister have always been close, but this Mother's Day, their bond is soaring to new heights. The duo can now claim their place in history after becoming the first mother-daughter team to co-pilot an international flight.
You're looking over there once we got leveled off and wow, this is a
two of us up here flying this huge jet. That was a warming feeling. I enjoyed it.
Late last month, the FedEx pilots took a 14-and-a-half-hour trip from Memphis to Incheon, South Korea, nearly 7,000 miles side by side. Terry served as captain. Nicole took the helm for takeoff and landing.
It was one of the better landings that I've had. So in that moment, it was funny because my mom was sitting right next to me, but I also reflected what my mom said, where it was like, no, I know I'm going to do well.
At a young age, Nicole admired her mom's career in aviation, so she became an Air Force pilot and eventually joined Terry at FedEx.
Nicole, how does your mom inspire you?
Oh, my mom inspires me in so many ways. She was always there, and as an adult, she's always been here.
Now a mom herself, Nicole reflects on how her mother did it all. Terry says the journey has been worth every minute.
Being a mom and doing this job, being a mom and doing any job, it's not easy to, find that fine balance of being able to do both and being able to do both well.
Their message to moms everywhere: let your dreams take flight. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.